the economy, LGBT rights, abortion, socialism, capitalism. Which issue is more important to Latinos in the 2022 elections coming up? Let's find out. Polly back here on the slant, the leading source on Latino entertainment, music, movies, and pop culture. Today, we are going to take a break from that, but I want to remind you to consider becoming a member. Enjoy all the perks. Make sure you are subscribed to the Latino Slant, and bienvenidos a todos. Yeah, we're going to go into a lot of hot topic issues with the recent Pew Resource Center poll. Now, that was kind of a dramatic opening there for you guys. Rest assured, we will go over those topics. So here's what I want to do. I want to explain to you how Pew Research got this information. We'll hit a couple of topics, and that's really it. I want to put this extensive polling. All the links will be in the video's description. So let's get right to it, guys. According to the Pew Resource Center, most Latinos say Democrats care about them and work hard for their vote. Far fewer say so of GOP. Abortion rises as an election issue for Latinos, with majority saying it should be legal in all or most cases. Okay, so when I saw that, I was like, when I saw that headline, I was kind of surprised. But since they're giving us that type of headline and not, it's a, what do you call it? It's a sensational headline. It's meant to grab our attention with a hook. I was like, okay, well, let me see these, the data. So here, if you click how we did this, it tells you how they did it, right? They surveyed over 7,600 adults. Now, 3,000 of them were Hispanic from August 1st to the 14th. And then they go into detail as far as how these surveys were conducted and what incentives, if there were any, were provided. All that information is there. But I wanted to go to one more thing before we get to these topics, because it greatly affects how we look at these numbers, and even the headline. So here are the questions used for the survey. And I grabbed that one right there. When I hit that link, here is, in fact, the numbers of the surveys of the people the Latinos that they connected with. 3,029. Okay, of that 3,029, 1,832 were leaning Democrat. 974 were leaning Republican. And then registered voters, 2,000 of the 3,000 were registered voters, 1,200 Democrat, 729 leaning Republican. So why am I telling you this? Because you need to know that going into these numbers, this polling already leans Democrat. So you take that information for what it is. I'm just providing it to you. So when they say all Latinos, it's a little misleading. It's true because that's who they surveyed. But what's also true is that it is the survey and who they surveyed are leaning Democrat. Take it for what it is. Now, that tells me a few things, which I think is fascinating, right? And let's go back to make sure we're on the same page. Yes. Okay. let's go back to here. Now they wanted a cross section of the nation's Hispanic adults. The data is weighed to match the U.S. Hispanic adult population by age, gender, education, nativity, Hispanic origin, and other categories. Now, a couple of things come to mind, and especially when I see that um, it's leaning Democrat. Uh, what's important is that, at least for me, and this is just me, guys, right, is the age. So I got the ages here from some of this data is 18 to 65 and over. That's a huge swath. That's incredible. I think that's really incredible. Now, gender, education, nativity, Hispanic origin. What I would have liked to know where these Hispanics live, where the majority live, cities and states, provinces, population density. I think have also a great matter because they say the more you know rural states, so quote unquote flyby states tend to be more conservative, big cities more liberal. That would have been great. I couldn't find that here. Okay, but I wanted to just connect that to you guys a little bit. Um, but it's all fascinating. I love kind of like digging deep in these. So that's what we got of these 3,000. We it's a huge age. We don't know where the majority of them. We don't know where they live. Okay, that's okay. We know that they're in the U.S. All right, so let's jump into some of these issues. Okay, I wanted to go down to here in regards to how Latinos, whether they're Democrat or Hispanic or Republican, how they view both parties. About half of Hispanics do not see a great deal of difference between what the Democratic and Republican parties stand for, with 36% saying there's a fair amount of difference and 16 saying there's hardly any difference at all between the parties. Meanwhile, 45% see a great deal of difference between the parties. About equal shares of Hispanic Democrats, 47, and Republicans, 48, say there's a great deal between parties. So, this goes along party lines. And while there's nothing wrong with that, I'd like to know the percentage of people who are not affiliated with these parties that are Latinos that they did um, talk to. Now, let's go. Let's just say this one more time before we get into some of these big issues that we talked about. These findings emerged from the 2022 National Survey of Latinos by Pew Research Center. The bilingual, nationally representative survey of 3,029 adult Latinos was conducted online from August 1st to August 14th. It explores Latinos' views about U.S. political parties and key issues leading up to November's midterm elections. So, as we go to the first key issue, what are key issues for you? What are key issues for you? Because we're about to go over some key issues according to these 3,000 Hispanics that they surveyed, and that's a lot. That's a pretty good test. That's a pretty good survey. Pretty good um kind of oh God, I lost the word for it. But you guys know what I mean. What's important to you guys? Here we go. Now, here are the issues. Among Latino voters, abortion rises in importance for 2022 midterms, while economy remains top issue. Now, again, I don't. This is totally misleading because you'll see why. You'll see why, and I have my thoughts on this. This is a percentage of Latino registered voters who say each issue is very important in making the decision about who to vote for in the 2022 congressional elections. 80% from March to August has not changed. Number one, with a bullet, 80%, staying at 80%, says it's the economy. It's the economy. It's the economy. Now, really quickly, before I go on, I want you in your mind to connect with each issue to a party, to a candidate, to a, whatever, which party or candidate you think is better suited to handle that. I'm curious what you think. I'm curious what you think. 80%. See, it doesn't lead with that, right? It leads with the abortion and, and it's such a hot topic issue this year. The economy, 80%. Education went from 74% to 70. Healthcare stayed at 71%. Violent crime education, 70%. Gun policy, 66%. Violent crime, gun policy went up. But and then voting policies jumped from 51 to 59%. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 top issues that are concerning that Latinos are concerned about as far as issues to vote in for the 2022 congressional midterms. Those are the top ones, guys. It's not until number 7 that we get to abortion. The reason why it is such a big issue, as you can see, it goes from a 42% to a staggering 57%. That is a 15% jump. 15% jump. That's the news issue, right? That's why you have the headline. Energy policy, immigration, climate change, Supreme Court appointments, basically kind of all interchanging, but not too greatly. 45% issues around race and ethnicity. 43 size and scope of federal government and foreign policy. 42, and at the bottom, the coronavirus outbreak, which was low to begin with in March. This is this is March to August of 2022. Okay. Now, so if this is March if this is March to August of 2022, I asked myself, well, what has gone on? What has conspired? What has transpired? Excuse me. On the national level in regards to social and political issues during that time. And during that time, obviously, was the Supreme Court, and then the states' rights as far as making abortion legal or illegal, depending on what state you're in, and the pro and the cons over abortion in every state. I mean, that is the thing you've been hearing about. But in reality, which is been part of from March to August. But at the same time, you had the economy. You guys make your get educated on these issues here. I'm just giving you numbers, and what I'm seeing is that because of the timing and the news, obviously, this has become a major issue among what we're talking about, Latinos going into the midterms of 2022. Now let's go back to that question I had for you guys. Which issues here are connected to a party, are connected to a congressman, are connected to a candidate, and whether they're, whatever party affiliate, which ones do you think will be better handled, better suited for that? And it kind of, this poll, and they ask so many great questions, covers a lot of that. But I want to know what you guys think. Now let's get to some of those other. I hope you guys enjoy it. I find this stuff so fascinating. Let's go to some of the issues. This one's a good. Latinos' views of Biden. Fewer than half of the Latino registered voters, 45%, say they approve of the way Biden is handling his job as president. with about half disapproving. So even the Democratic leaning poll that this is says 54% disapprove of how he is handling his job. Interesting. Then it has the Latinos' views on Trump's re-election possibilities, racial discrimination. But let's go to views on abortion and LGBTQ rights. The survey finds that Latinos are divided along party lines. Party lines on key social issues in similar ways to the U.S. public, though the views of Latinos are sometimes less polarized on key issues. Okay, this is interesting. A majority of Hispanics, 57%, says abortion should be legal in at least some cases, including 69% of Democrats, and 39% of Hispanic Republicans said abortion should be legal in all or most cases. Again, it goes up to that big jump we talked about, 15%. Now, same-sex marriage, more than a third of Latinos, 37%, say same-sex marriage being legal is good for society, while a similar share say it's neither good nor bad for society. Latino Democrats lean more likely than Republicans, saying same-sex marriage being legal is a good thing for society, 46% versus 21%. Interesting, right? All fascinating stuff. I'd love to know your thoughts. Make sure you are commenting, hitting us back. What's important to you? We went over this, and this will be on a this of course will be on the links will be in the video description. Okay, let's wrap it up with views on socialism and capitalism. Okay, this is according to the survey, a large share of Hispanics have a negative then positive impression of socialism, 53% to 41%. By contrast, Hispanics have a more positive than negative view of capitalism, 54% to 41%. When it comes to socialism, Hispanic Democrats are split on how they view it, 48% negative, 50% positive. Hispanic Republicans, nearly three quarters, 72% view socialism negatively. Now, they also go into ages, and this is what we talked about earlier in the video, and we're going to wrap it up here. Latinos ages 18 to 29 are more evenly divided in their views of socialism, 46 to 50. Pattern with young people in the U.S. The older you get, they see socialism more negative. It's great. This is great information, guys. The more information, the more educated your vote is, I think is a good thing. By contrast, Hispanic Republicans, 68%, have a positive view of capitalism. Oh, let's go to where's the positive view of? Oh, okay. Now we're talking about the positive view of capitalism, breaking it down in parties, because the overall is 54%, 53% positive. But now when you break it down into parties amongst these 3,000 people, excuse me, 68% have a positive view of capitalism. Democrats, 50% positive view of capitalism. Hispanic adults in the U.S. public overall generally have similar views of capitalism. Majority of Hispanics, 54, and U.S. adults, 57, have a positive impression of capitalism. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We can go so much deeper, and there are pages among pages of great data that these guys did. Don't get misled by headlines. I mean, we all do it to hook you guys into watching our videos. And these guys are no different as far as hooking you in to crunch the numbers. But really, check out all the numbers, check out how they got them, where these people are coming from. But this is important. This is important, no doubt. And again, I would love your thoughts. All right. Well, that's it for now. Wherever you guys are at, please be safe, be informed, and keep your slant muy fuerte. Gracias.